Subs, your man Rico the opinionist, with this little morning stroll, trying to get that exercise on. Just enjoying the clean air. Let y'all get on up here before we get started. It's early, all blue Saturday. So, turn on your favorite blues station wherever you are. You know, back home, my hometown of Memphis is WDIA. All blues Saturday. And get your Bobby Rush on. Get your Johnny Taylor. Get your Tyrone Davis. Oh, darling, so lonely without you. And I can't help myself. Get your Lattimore on. Let's figure it out. Get your Shirley Brown on. I gotta sleep with one eye open. Cause this man won't leave me alone. Get your Coco Taylor. Don't mess with my toot. We gonna pitch a wang dang doodle all night long. Get your all blue Saturday on. You know. And good morning, David. What's up, man? Eric, you up? So look, I'm gonna make this pretty clear. It says they got a slow connection. You know, during the past week, and I'm sure it's not going to stop as we get closer to the presidential election. Hey man, don't ask me those questions on this page. Eric, don't ask me like family questions on this page, man. This is not that. It's not what that's for. It's called social media etiquette. So, but anyway, I don't know. So anyway, text me those kind of questions. So anyway, look, all week, there's been talk about, black men's voting habits and, whether black men vote or not. And y'all know that black men do vote, right? As a matter of fact, been voting up into like 90% or so, just the way black women have been voting. And so, but I think even Joe Biden has come out, and members of the White House have come out and zoomed in, because for years, ever since Trump ran for president in 2016 and won, at that time 8 to 9% of black men cast their vote for then President Donald Trump, right? And so all of a sudden black men became, kind of appeared on people's radars. At first, they never really catered to black men. We're talking about either party. But, the Republican Party is not expected to cater to have a conversation with black men about anything, right? The Republican Party is not even expected to do anything or say anything on behalf or advocacy for black men and black people. So, you don't hold too much stock in that. But it's the Democratic Party that's supposed to be the party of black people that we've been convinced for the past 60 years. And whenever you go in a lot of these Democratic voting neighborhoods, they are shitholes. Shout out to Donald J. Trump for making that statement out loud, and it pissed a lot of people off. I think it pissed him off because he actually put the truth out loud. And this is not a promo for Donald Trump, but wherever a quote comes from, I'm going to give the credit to. So y'all don't start that shit. But he did. He when he said about those countries over in Africa, and those in the Caribbean islands, he referred to them as shitholes. Because he was saying that, hell, America was a big part in creating those shitholes. When you put sanctions on people, you colonize people's countries. You take up all the resources, and then you throw the religion in there to keep the people mentally enslaved and all that. But you come in and take, but you don't give anything back. You create a shithole environment. And that's called the inner cities across America. And I guarantee you $1 to a donut or a dozen donuts. You go to any of these majority black cities, and you go to that inner city, and when they look like shitholes, you look up their representatives. City council, county commission, school board, alderman. I guarantee they're all Democrats. See, back in the day, it wasn't expected for a Republican or non-Democrat to show any kind of favor, any kind of support for these neighborhoods. And then they used to make Republicans all white, but we see that Republicans come in many forms. They're Asians, they're Hispanics, they're black, and especially, I mean, even got gay Republicans. Did y'all know that? Gay conservatives. But no, they don't go after them. They don't talk about how many gays who are not voting Democrat. For some reason, Joe Biden and these black women with these talk shows, who no longer have talk shows, are saying black women, black men, y'all need to follow line what black women do. Well, look what his leadership, look what their leadership has led the black community to. Shitholes. Yeah, they talk a good game when they're sitting in the Texas State House. They talk a good game when they're on these little talk shows, but the actions speak louder than the words, and the actions is just really nothing. Just a bunch of so-called well-educated, very articulate women who are all about doing nothing except for women. And some children get thrown in there some kind of way. However, the Democratic Party wants to zoom in on black men at the last minute, the way they tried to do last time. And it appears that more and more black men are waking up, and proud of you, brothers, because we are a separate group. And more and more black men need to understand our issues are separate from everybody. You know, the way black women pushed themselves away, made themselves a separate group. So they went out and they're doing for self. But men are still expected to not only do for self, but to do for others. Because they tend to hold men to that whole thing. Well, you're a hunter-gatherer, protector, you're a provider. So that means in real life, even politically, you know, when they say happy wife, happy life, or this saying that we joke about, but it's actually the mindset of a lot of women. My money is my money. His money is our money. Well, that's how they treat black men. That's how they treat men in America. Particularly, I'm talking about black people. Now, you don't shoot any resources black men and black boys' way. You take. Not only do you take from black men and black boys spiritually, mentally, but you physically take away from black men. And when black men are of no use to you, you try to throw them in jail, even after you set them up for the kill. Got it? There are no interventions. You don't fund any money for that. We have nonprofits, a few brothers who try to have their mentoring programs try, but you can't do anything to a large extent if there's no capital involved. You know how they quickly fund all these other non-black interests? The same city council that tell you, well, we having budget cuts. Those same state representatives, all they want to do is talk about fucking gun control. They ain't got nothing to do with black folks. Nothing to do with anybody, really. You know that guns don't kill people. It's people who kill people. They don't put any money towards mental health, put any money towards parenting and mentoring. If you had money flowing, a lot of stuff would look different. If you don't believe me, go to your white suburbs. It's money flowing there. When money is flowing, people's attitudes change. And you get rid of the riffraff. Because when things are new and nice, they seem to disappear. And the community really tends to covet things that are really new and nice. So much so that they'll leave what they think is their horrible conditions in the hood or whatever, and which usually are. They go move to the suburbs and take their tax dollars, they take their creativity, they take their good mental health, they take everything, the children, they take everything out there and help with the flourishing and a continuation and the perpetuating of the suburbs. Got it? And so in this last election, in 2020, black men voted at 14%, non-democratic or Republican. And now, I think with this election coming up, black men are probably going to get up to 34%. Not against, against Democrats. And that's across the board. And so now, the Democratic Party, who's always only catered to everybody except for black boys and black men, now they want to sit out here instead of like, hey man, here's $500 million for some empowerment programs, some educational programs, some economic programs where black men can begin the process of flourishing in the neighborhoods and flourishing, encouraging them to do different things. Hit us with the $500 million. Hit us with the money you're giving Ukraine. They ain't got nothing to do with America. But we understand what the White House is about: replacing black voters, replacing black bodies, because they see that black people are finally waking up as a whole. But black women are still going to be loyal because the Democratic Party is for black women, not for black men. Never been, unless you're a gay man, unless you're an integrationist assimilator black man. You don't mind kissing butt and boot licking to try to get $1. If you're a black man, heterosexual, masculine black man, the Democratic Party has nothing for you. If you're a black man who believes in being at home with his wife or being at home with his woman and taking care of his children and being the head of his household, the Democratic Party is not for us, and their message is getting out. And so now the White House wants to all of a sudden make little comments in these various magazines and these little new news rags and podcasts, with black men on your mind. We're not doing it, bro. Black men are not having it. And I hope that in 2024, not just in the president's race, but in the local races, black men vote at 40 to 55%. I think that could be hoped for candidates that are not Democrat. So we're going to have to get these neighborhoods, and we'll have to get our families back together. We're going to have to get this thing looking like the way they look when those black people, listen to me, because I'm going to keep saying this. I want this conversation to continue to spread. Hold on a minute. When these black people leave the ghettos and the hoods and they move to the suburbs, or when they get a degree, college degree, higher ed, master's degree, PhD, certification in IT, start making six figures or close to six figures and beyond, they move to white suburbs. And in these white suburbs, it's interesting that they don't understand, like I came to understand, that a lot of these white suburbs have Republican, or 90% of them have Republican representation. Those good schools, the good funded schools, those beautiful streets and beautiful houses and very, very low crime, and people won't even think about acting a fool out there. In whatever suburb you live in, whatever city you live in, it is mainly Republican represented. You got a Republican mayor a lot of times, Republican state representatives, Republican congressmen, senators. They're Republicans. But those same blacks, they lived in the ghetto. I don't like Republican. Republican ain't nothing. They don't want no black folks. And then now they want everybody that's a Republican, they want associated with Trump. That's ignorant. So you got these suburban blacks, these blacks who moved to the suburbs, which is not against the law. Hell, I live in one of them. And I know it's heavily Republican. And so it's just interesting that when they move to these blacks move into these majority white suburbs, send your kids to majority white elementary schools. You got your kid is the only black kid over there, or mixed kid in there, and around 500 whites and others, and send them to the majority white high schools, or they call them mixed. But you the mix. Your kid is the mix, with majority white female teachers and a few sisters up in there. And the white men are pretty much the coaches a lot of times. Well, the black dudes are the coaches. They don't mind letting brothers being over athletics. and especially recruiting other black dudes. Well, the point is, a lot of these black folks that move to these white suburbs but still claim Democrat, I don't understand how you do that. If that is not hypocrisy with a capital H. And then, on top of that, you come from your white suburb because your grandmama and your cousin still live in a black hood Democratic district that ain't got hardly no Walmarts, no medical shit, no mental health treatment, no grocery stores, none of that. And you live in your beautiful suburb that got everything in it. Shopping, mental health, medical health, all kinds of nonprofits that are actually producing for that area. And then you bring your sleeping Republican but talking Democratic ass to the black ghettos, the hoods, and tell those people during every election they need to vote Democrat. Does that make sense to anybody? You know how y'all say, well, there are people like Candace Owens, Larry Elders, they sleep white but talk black. Well, there's a new term I'm creating. You sleep Republican, but you talk Democrat. And I don't understand how you tell your folks in the ghetto to keep voting for that Democratic candidate who keeps your neighborhood, keeps that neighborhood and that whole area looking like a shithole while you go back home and lay down in your Republican luxury. Y'all help me now. Help me to help that make sense. Please help me, y'all. Like that video on TikTok, that little girl. Y'all see that little girl singing when she's trying to clean her room up and put that fitted sheet on the bed? She's just singing, help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Help me. Help me, Lord. Help me. Help me, Lord. Help me. Help me, Lord. So y'all got to help me make that make sense. It is. I know I'm not trying to indict anybody or accuse you or nothing. I'm just pointing out what you probably don't even know you doing. You probably don't even know you doing that. Because I've seen it in my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee, and I know it happens in Dallas. I know it does. Year after year, these people keep voting for their poverty. Year after year, these people keep voting for crime. Year after year, these people keep voting for underfunded, poorly funded schools. Year after year, they keep voting for single motherhood. Year after year, they keep voting for fatherlessness. Year after year, come on somebody, fill in the goddamn blanks. While you, as the black person who fled to the suburbs, which is not against the law, because I live in one. Y'all have the nerve because you still go to church in the ghetto. You still come and get your nails done. You still go to the barbershop to talk about the black stuff in the barbershop. I'm going to pick that up. You still go to the black barbershop in your hood. So I guess you still feel connected. But politically, you tell those folks who live in that ghetto to keep voting for those people that keeps their ghetto the ghetto. Y'all understand? So I'm glad that across the country, slowly but surely, black men are waking up to the Democratic shenanigans. Black men are waking up, and I want to continue to support you, brothers. I'm there with you. I haven't voted Democrat. Whoa. And one thing I know I'm never voting for is a Democratic woman. Ever. Because I already know what their agenda is. Y'all know when you cast your vote for a black female or a woman, white woman, we're talking about black folks here. When you vote for a black female that's a Democrat, you know what you're voting for? LGBT rights, immigrant rights, women and children, more food stamps, welfare and stuff for them, empowerment zones for women. So as a man, why the hell would I vote for a woman Democrat? Hell, we got Democratic women who are prosecutors, send more black dudes to jail. You think I vote for a black woman DA? Not hardly. I'm just saying, we're going to get it together. We're going to get it together. Black men, you're doing the right thing. Because one thing I know, men across all races, we have different issues from our more feminine, feminine half, or our opposite gender, especially black men. Shout out to Dr. T. Hassan Johnson, Dr. Ron Neal, current brothers, and Dennis Sperling, brothers who are talking about the issues of black men. They're on YouTube. And shout out to yours truly. Talking about the needs of black men all the time, and they're very practical. What bothers us as black men? What hinders our lives as black men? Inability, the non-accessibility to capital and resources. They're afforded to everybody else. You know, to start businesses, to maintain homes, hell, to earn a living. Criminal justice system. Black males are incarcerated more than 3 times their Mexican, Asian, white counterparts. Black children make up well over 50 to 60% of juvenile court cases. Black boys and black girls, but particularly black boys. Black boys are pushed more into special ed and ADHD medication more than any other group, including black girls. Black boys are looked upon as more adults and black children, period, as their white counterpart. These are all research facts I'm showing towards you. Shout out to Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu, Dr. Naeem Akbar. You know, our scholars that put the information out here. So, shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson. When he's on that, when he's talking about black boys and black children, he's on it. That's other foolishness with Sukiana. Nah, that's some other shit. But we have issues: economic, educational, criminal justice, family court, black men, and that's why if you're a black male voter, you have somebody want to come ask you a vote, ask them this: what you gonna do about this family court? You as a state lawmaker, what laws or legislation can you put together to hope to get into law that will end this child support system or make it 50-50? Because, you know, they always say, well, she didn't make the baby by herself. You know, it's 50-50 to make the baby. Well, it should be 50-50 as it relates to child custody as well as paying child support. And black men, get off your ass and become politicized. Now, you're beginning the process of voting differently. Now it's time for black men to start organizing and getting the things done that we need. Because you can go down the list. If you're not sure as a black man what your issues are, go look at any of the issues, be it child support, be it education, criminal justice. Those are the main ones. And look at how we come out on the opposite or the negative end of those statistics. That's our issues. Those are things we need to improve, state and locally, federally as well. But anyway, I'm about to go get my run on. I just want to say good morning. All Blues Saturday on this, August the 19th? Y'all be cool. We'll talk again in the future later. It's your man Rico the Opinionist. Check out the description box. Got some cool stuff in there. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.